All right, welcome back to Survivor Gabon.
Here we are, Gabon, Yvonne. Let's
Last
go.
episode, Jackie got voted out. One of the blondes.
Jacqui,
Yeah,
Jacqui,
Jackie.
Jaqueline.
Jackie. Yes. After
Yeah,
much
so
deliberation between her and Kelly,
it was quite a lot.
emotional pleas, it fell on deaf ears ultimately.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole switcheroo going on with the tribes too. So there was a shake up in the tribe dynamics as is likely to happen in early Survivor. They like to shake things up a bit in terms of dynamics.
After they ranked their fellow tribe mates, then they did the swap. Sugar was left out of it, was sent to exile, where she ultimately found the idol, and then came back to the was it the Fang tribe that she came back to, and took Jackie's place here.
She said, "Well, she won. She had the she had the idol from the previous episode.
Oh, right, and then she got to go back and enjoy the comfort.
She gets to go back and just get to
Eat some
sit in a
fruits.
hammock and eat some fruit. Yeah.
And if you're new to the channel, I'm a big Survivor fan, taking Alec through Survivor chronologically for the first time. He's only seen everything before the season, doesn't know anything that comes after this episode. So it's all fresh.
That's right. I don't. It's all fresh. I don't know anything. I don't know the result of what happens this season or anything. So, yeah.
And so each episode, if you go in the description, you'll see a link. You can click it and see the highlights of our reaction as we watch the episode. It's usually up to 15 minutes of our time watching the episode together. Then we come back and discuss. So go ahead, check it out, and then come back afterwards. All right. GC, put it out. How we feel about it?
Interesting.
It was the mercy kill.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a mercy kill. I feel like the sort of play at the end there was like, well, this is the only time we have to blindside her. I mean, it's true, but I think the episode had done a pretty good job establishing about just how fed up they were with GC. I mean, it's just like a drain. It'd be a complete drain on your tribe to keep, because we've seen people like strung along who kind of don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But there's a difference with some of them, whereas like GC was kind of a central pillar of the tribe at one point earlier on, where he was like helpful. He was a strong member, and then he just sort of kind of withered and died on the vine.
The original leader.
So
shout out.
Shout out, props to that.
Quit as leader. Quit in challenges. Quit the game. Yeah.
In a manner of speaking. Yeah.
I mean, I just always prefer people to just, if you don't want to be here anymore, just go out. Like, don't make me have to restructure my whole plans around it. Just because you want to. Just because you want to technically not have quit the game, like you want to be voted out. So it's like, let's all go through the whole pomp and circumstance to vote you out.
Well, I'm saying it almost would have been more interesting if they had gone the voting her out, voting Sugar out.
I mean, that was
route, because
clearly would have been a good time to do it. She never would have saw it coming.
Right, because like she's made it plain during that, where it's like, yeah, they might know that I have it, like very, very obviously. So she's of the understanding that is a possibility, but she still chose not to play it because I guess they just get the vibe and get the idea that GC was just donezo. But yeah, I mean, if they could have pulled it together, that would have been a pretty awesome thing. But because that'd be stronger against Ace, who they're worried about in the game. So because then Ace would have nobody pretty much. Yeah. So.
But this is probably the better outcome for us, because GC wasn't giving us anything, and Sugar's been fun. So
Sugar has been very fun. I like her a lot. And yeah, GC was kind of a whew boy. There's a charisma. Though he did have an excellent moment where he flipped out for almost nothing and then went missing. He just went canoeing
Yeah.
off into
Almost
the
had to leave for
wall.
the challenge without him.
Yeah. We're getting
Yeah.
ready to leave, and then we realized GC wasn't here.
The Chronicles of GC come to a close here, episode 4.
Mm.
There was a rocky road from the start, between him and Randy, Buttonheads, the whole leadership thing that was very short-lived, and then Crystal getting on his nerves as well, And it's just like, I'm done.
She's trying to like joke around with him, and then he flips out, and I was like, oh, I don't think you read the room right. I think she was just kidding.
And then he's like, he's like, this game is turning me into something I don't like. So I guess he's recognized some of that being a little unreasonable, but so at least he recognized that.
Yeah, but I think I kind of there's an element now that I sort of gone back and forth about this quitting versus not quitting thing, but I feel like if you've lost all your motivation, it honestly probably is better to not waste everyone's time. If you are legitimately like, I'm done with this game, it's better to like be upfront and honest about that instead of going out with the whole pomp and circumstance of actually getting voted out when you don't want to be there.
It depends on when you do it. Like him waiting makes it so only he goes out. Like if you quit early enough, you might still have to vote someone else out too. So that would suck for them. But
yeah,
if you do it at the right time, I think
maybe that might have been something too. That could have been maybe an unseen agreement where it's like, it's just like where it could have been a reconciliation of like, okay, well, if I go out too early, then they still have to vote. So maybe just make it so that you vote me out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it's like, it's one of those things where you could tell he's missing his friends and family and all that, and he's saying it's turning him into someone he doesn't like. But there's also the element of, he even mentioned it, like losing so much. I feel like if he was in a tribe that was winning a lot, you might see a different story here. It's just like some people can't take the losing over and over again.
Right. It's the tale as old as time, as the rich get richer, as we saw like in previous seasons where that can happen. And it does sort of have it kind of has a
psychological effect.
Like what the phrase is. It has a psychological effect, but I mean, I'm trying to. There's like a specific. Yeah, lowers morale. There's like a phrase I was looking for. It's like where it just keeps. It just reinforces. Yeah, it reinforces that sort of like negativity around camp life and everything. Where it's just like, we lost again. You bring that back, and it's hard to rally.
Negative energy, yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody's getting on each other's nerves because you're around these people all the time and just losing. Yeah. What else this episode? We had Crystal looking in the bag and found Sugar's idol. Crystal, so now everybody there knows for sure.
We had Maddie and Ace go out to see an elephant. They
it was straight up
encounter. Canoed out to which I was very nervous about because that animal was not acting like it was very happy to see them.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was making some kind of territorial display or something. It was like breaking down a bunch of trees and kind of just making a whole ruckus out there.
But the initial encounter was cool, though. Seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
"Oh yeah, everybody
from the game essentially."
When everybody like came together, I was like, "Please don't tell me that's like they're coming up on this thing." And then I realized it was across the river. I was like, "Okay, that's a little bit better," because like the way they made it seem when the way it was edited and the way that they shot it, had this like ominous music, and then it's just, like you kind of see like an elephant. You couldn't tell it was like across a body of water. You just saw this elephant, and then and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna run over and grab everybody," and then I was like, "Why would you Why would you do that? This is bad. I just get bad feelings about everything." And then they all sort of gathered together, and it was yeah, it was pretty cool for them to be able to get to see this kind of thing happen up close. Going out in the canoe, I mean, I guess you're kind of safe if you're not getting too close. They got way closer than I would have, I think.
Right.
Um, but you
But
know,
it's still cool. Like, so it's gonna be such a surreal thing to see elephant right
what
there.
I mean, that's like core memory being formed. Basically, you get to see like an elephant up close like that, just like having its way with the jungle, pretty much.
And you're living
Just
right,
like breaking stuff down and.
just a few feet away. You're living there. It's pretty cool.
Well, they played a fruit ball. The Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep mini game, fruit ball. They played that today.
Throw the fruit.
um,
The other person
the
tries to
fruit from the
block
basket.
it. The other, while one
Yeah,
tribe is trying to catch it and get as much
yeah.
weight as possible. Yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty cool. But then we had the shield
It was,
challenge with the
yeah,
roll the balls down, and the blindfolded
yeah,
person's supposed to be guided to shield. That was a
yeah. That
mess
didn't.
for Fong.
Yeah, it was a big mess for Fong. Yeah. Um, but
I'm surprised we didn't hear anything
um,
from it from Ace. I thought he was gonna have something to say about it.
yeah. That he was gonna be pissed off at what's her. I mean, he
Sure.
seemed frustrated in the moment, but
Hmm.
he was also interesting to watch this episode because he was kind of like sweating. He was big sweating at the beginning because he's like, oh, I lost a possible ally right there. But then
Yeah.
as everything fell apart around the camp, he's like, oh, this is great. Everything's imploding. This is awesome. He just like
Yeah.
sat back and, and watched it all happen.
They get a nice deal. They get a nice deal
Yeah.
this time around where GC just volunteered to
Hmm.
leave, made it easy for him.
Yeah. Sugar went back to Exile Island again. She's living it up.
Hmm.
Uh, oh yeah. So then we also had Dan being like, "Oh man, this is great, guys. We're gonna do this. We're all together, all seven of us." And Marcus is like, "What is he talking about?" It's like
He said
no one buys
Dan's a
this.
little too gung ho about it, and then Susie's a little too
Yeah,
quiet about it. So it's like both of
too
them are
quiet
in
about it.
doubt
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. So there's a weird. So that's kind of all we really got from that tribe. It's like that happened, and then we saw Randy go for a swim, and he's like, "Oh yeah, baby,
Yeah,
I'm sitting good. We're winning challenges. I'm doing good."
he's gonna be
And that was
happy to
about
hear
it.
that GC left.
Oh yeah, he's a cancer that
Freaking
needs to be
cancer is
excised.
gone. Jeez.
Get out of my game. You're a cancer.
All right, who would you give your MVP for the
Um,
episode?
Probably Crystal. I thought she's always had an attitude that I have a lot of respect for because she's a real gamer.
No, that's
And
Kenny.
she's not about what?
That's Ken.
No, well, not that kind of a gamer.
Got mixed up. They're
But
usually
she's
mixed
like
up.
she's real. That's true. Yeah, she's not a pro gamer. She's an Olympian.
Yeah.
She's a gamer and that
Mhm.
she's an athlete. You know, she's really kind of no nonsense when it comes to a lot of stuff, and I feel like her input in this episode was really great. Like she just like really embodied the whole everyone is fed up with GC. I'm especially fed up with GC. I literally was trying to joke around with him, and then he like freaked out, and then had a little temper tantrum and went on his canoe, and
Mhm.
then we almost left him
Yeah.
behind.
It's
So
like I'm not yelling for a grown man.
yeah, yeah, I'm not yelling for a grown man. I'm not wasting the
And
energy.
I'm not gonna beg him to stay. You know, she was fed up with him.
Yeah,
But yeah, she's
yeah,
got a
she's just,
fun, no nonsense personality.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
come back next week for another episode of Survivor Gabon here on the channel.
Gabon.
Right. And check out on the channel. We got a playlist with all our Survivor videos if you want more. All the seasons prior, we have some form of coverage on them, whether it be season reviews for the first 4 seasons or episode by episode reactions and discussions for every other season. So check those out.
Good stuff.
And what video specifically would you recommend they watch next if they enjoyed this one?
I would recommend go check out a review of High Score.
High score! Wow,
Yeah,
right off the top of the
yeah, go check
dome,
it
you
out.
pulled that one.
Yeah, I pulled it out. Boom! That's right up here. All periods of time.
High
That's
score
right.
for all the gamers out there. It's a little documentary.
Yeah, all the gamers.
Whether you're a
Yeah.
Crystal or you're a Kenny, gamers is
Yeah.
a full spectrum of gamers.
We're gamers alike around here.
Alright. Gamers alike.
Right.
All right. Check that out.
Yeah.
And until next time, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and take care of yourselves.